I don't know if we're having technical difficulties or not, but we're going to jump into our next topic, which is the best thing I saw this weekend. And it's going. This topic is going to go into a couple of places, and we're going to follow along. So the best thing I saw this weekend while I was laid up on my deathbed with a broken phone and I couldn't do Facebook, I can't do nothing. So this weekend I'm watching TV, and I hardly ever watch BET. But BET was running the Tulsa Massacre, Black Wall Street. Best thing I saw on TV this weekend, by far. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think Black History Month I don't think it's doing us any good anymore, in my personal opinion, because I think it's marginalized and it's minimalized. You know, I was around when they were trying to get Black History instituted, I remember how it goes. And now, after we pass this stuff, it's not good enough. It's to me personally, it's not good enough. It minimalizes what Black people or people of color have done for this country.
That's the whole point of it, though. They only give you a little bit.
And that's
now
why.
Now that everybody's waking up and people really seeing their history is coming out more and more and more and more and more and more, so there's nothing they can really hide anymore. So let it be what it is. We're waking up. We're understanding our culture better. But of course, they're gonna try to make it seem like it's minimal, but we did everything.
And that's why I say, to me, certain things have to change. And it starts with curriculum in schools. Because I've seen too many, when I'm on Facebook, I go on my Facebook friends' pages and stuff, especially the white ones who might hit a topic of that sort, and I'll read what their friends have to say about it. And what I saw was a lot of people were like, I never heard of it, I never knew about it. You see what I'm saying? People saying that this had never, because it wasn't covered in our curriculum in school. And now it's time I believe that I made a post earlier that said I want to trade in Black History Month for Black History Year, where these things are put in the curriculum as early as elementary school. You can give me a chart on all this stuff throughout history, but everything that Black people have gone through gets left out. And now it's time that we have those things added in. One of the biggest things that I notice or I see is a lot of people have a hard time understanding that the civil rights movement and Vietnam were going on during the same time. A lot of people don't understand that those two events were taking place at the same time in history. But the way they talk about it is they're just distant memories of each other and stuff like that. So, okay. That's how I feel. I don't know if anybody else.
That's why everybody loves us.
Yeah, that is why everybody loves. He almost beheaded himself. He almost took his head smooth off. Let's welcome B-Dub, ladies and gentlemen, to the set.
Hey. When you work behind the scenes and in front of the camera, you get 2 paychecks.
So, like I was saying, the best thing I saw was Black Wall Street, and like I say, we need to start pressing these people to put these things in the curriculum. No, it's not pretty. Nothing in Black history that has to do with America is remotely pretty. Nothing. They always want to put the good stuff in there, the things but nah, for Black people, it's been fucked up. And
they need to go back farther than slavery. That's how they usually start everything when it comes to Black history and Black people. It starts with slavery, especially in school. You need to go and farther back, and really let people know who, we are. Because a lot of us don't know who we are,
Well, and not only that, so I was like, okay, well, let me research what else happened during this time in history. We learned about the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares about the Ottoman Empire? Like that, but these are in history books. Like and that but Black Wall Street isn't.
Right.
Move isn't.
Mm-hmm.
The LA riots are. All
Yeah.
these different I don't not like it should be.
Well, I don't know. I was, you were in school
I'm
when
just-
it happened.
I'm just saying right now, present day.
Yeah.
All these events that are taking place in American Black history need to be documented and put right next to those damn topics they talk about in those white schools. We shouldn't have to wait till you go to an HBCU to learn about these things or
Don't
stuff
teach you
like
that at the HBCU. I never learned about Black Wall Street at Central.
But I'm just saying, that's the best chance you'll have of learning about it, because you definitely aren't going to learn about it in the public school system.
They're supposedly working on trying to change that. They're supposedly. But it's still gonna go back so far. And even if they do try to change anything, they're still not gonna tell you everything. They're not gonna keep it real. There's still stuff they don't want you to know. But we're gonna find out on our own.
I mean, I just looked at. I've just been looking at it over the past couple of months, like Black History Month. It's a good thing. It was a good thing, but now after you look at it in its totality, it's like it's not really cutting it anymore.
No.
It's not really cutting it anymore.
Black history is for white folks.
And
Or Black History Month.
yeah, but we need Black History Year now. We just need it all year round. Like we're giving them the Cliff Note version of Black History, and they deserve the full length copy of it.
And then they only give you certain people every year. It's the same 4 or 5 people. They don't give you anybody
Martin
new.
Luther King,
Malcolm X, Rosa Parks,
They didn't even
Harriet
talk about
Tubman.
Malcolm.
Marcus Garvey,
They don't talk about him either.
like and like you say, it's like they have their favorite Black people to single out and stuff like that, when we're so much more. We are so much more.
I believe hidden colors 1 through 5 should be taught at public schools.
Yes. Every single last one of them.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you gotta pass a goddamn exam to graduate on what you just saw.
I agree.
Volumes 1 through 5.
Because I mean, I'm gonna just keep it
Yep.
a buck. This is what I was telling the people at my job. As
I
much
agree.
as Black people, we kind of bicker with white people, but nevertheless, American history is still American history, white or Black. But we just been getting the white American history. And it's time that we change that. It's nonsense. Like, it's time that everybody in this country understands the plight of people of color. It's time that they understand this. It's time to stop being like, nah, we're not going to put. No, they need to hear this. You need to hear this. And that's just how I'm feeling on this subject right now. Because the older we get, kids look at slavery like dinosaurs. It's like slavery was a million years ago, when in all actuality,
It really
It's
won't
just
that
2
long.
generations, really.
It really
Like
won't
2
that
70-year-old people who live back to back.
you see what I'm saying? But at the way technology happens and stuff like that, and we like pace life, and we put these parts of life in just like this capsule and just think it's forever ago, when Jim Crow was in the 1900s. Like, it was just the last century. But that's just my thoughts. Did anybody see it by any chance? Because I know BT ran one, and I know CNN ran one as well.
I watched something on Netflix. I watched a couple things on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll give y'all. But it was something. I probably remember the name before we ended the show, but it was real, real interesting. There was one, Our Mother's Flowers or Your Mother's Flowers. That was a good one. That was mainly for us women, talking about our grandmothers and our mothers and their ancestors, and where they come from and how they were, stuff like that. That's a good one. I think it's Our Mother's Flowers or some shit like that.
It's about growing weed.
No, it's about older generation of people.
Who grew weed?
Some smoke.
Yes.
Some smoke.
What did you watch good this weekend?
What did I watch?
Because you're the watch.
I watched that zombie movie, Army of the Dead.
I watched it too.
I heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it was pretty violent and gory, which is
Yeah.
right up my alley. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. But it took me a while to watch the whole thing because I don't know why I always played it at night before going to bed and falling asleep on that.
Yeah, I did too. Like 3 times. Fell asleep on it.
Okay.
I got a question. Jason Statham new movie. Have you?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
What is that?
The Wrath of Man. I want to say.
Yeah.
Is that one it? And I believe that the Fast and Furious 100 is coming out. Like
I really do not
101.
care.
like I believe it's whichever one, the Fast and Furious. I've seen commercials for that.
Trash and Furious.
The new Venom. I'm kind of interested to see that.
I want to see The Conjuring. The new Conjuring.
I watched the new Conjuring.
It's
You
good.
seen it?
No, I said I watched
Okay.
it. I haven't seen it yet, but
I'm not a
And it's
big.
another one.
I'm not a big advocate on scary movies like that. Like that. That's your. You
I
always
love
been
horror
that.
movies.
That's
I'm
him
a
all
horror
day,
movie
like,
fan.
when I
I'm
used to
horror
be,
movies. I love
when he showed me one movie one time. I
Which
still
one?
have Backcountry. I still have
Backcountry.
nightmares to this day about that
What
movie.
was Backcountry?
When they went out camping.
That's
The bear?
Yes.
Oh.
that's why you don't
Out of
want
all
to
the
do
shit
camping.
I've watched, you scared of a bear.
A bear.
Look,
Like, I don't know.
that was one of the gruesomest scenes I've ever seen.
Well, he
Like
had
that.
seen too many horror movies.
Yeah. Because I'm
That's
like,
how it is.
I've
Saw.
seen people get
Spiral.
eviscerated.
That's
That was it. That was it.
That's what I wanna
That's
see,
what
Spiral.
you need too.
I haven't seen it.
It's not out, is it?
Oh, it isn't?
I think it is. I
Only
think
in the
it's
theaters
out.
though. Because it's not on nothing.
Yo, that's the
streaming.
problem with watching bootlegs. You don't know what the fuck is legally out or not.
Are y'all comfortable going back to theaters and stuff?
I'm not comfortable going to shit for the rest of the year.
I went to the beach and people was looking at me like I was crazy because I had a mask on.
Yeah, we're gonna touch that. We got anything, Budha? Any comments before I jump into something else? I'm gonna
What
touch
up?
that one.
Hey, y'all.
What up? What up?
Hey.
What up?
Hey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope the day adjourns you all with optimistic results.
Fuck
What up, Cool?
Oh.
What up, Cool? What up,
Hey,
They're not going to teach you about their downfalls. They're only going to teach you about ours.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do teach you about their downfalls, they're going to definitely minimalize it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We have to take responsibility to educate our children and ourselves. They don't want us to know it's not in their best interest. Absolutely.
Agreed.
I agree with that. We definitely need to teach our children and ourselves, but we also need to hold them accountable too, because if we're not holding the school system accountable, then what the hell? Like we put money into it. Like we put money into a lot of
Yeah,
stuff that
but
we don't hold accountable.
They still not trying to hear that shit.
That's just like our government. The government gets big paid and don't do shit. Big paid. And tell us we don't need government. On
Cause
top of
they got
that.
some
That's
Big
crazy.
pay.
And in the same breath tell us you don't need government, but take these we're going to get our $100,000 checks though. Crazy. Crazy. But like I said, I'm sorry.
Didn't you ask me if we had? All right, cool. In school, they only teach you the same 5 stories over and over again. They never want to teach you anything different. Then, if you bring up something different, then they try to sweep it under the rug or act as though because it's not a part of the curriculum that is not necessary to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
My mother's garden or whatever was very good.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I learned my history from my parents. I agree, it starts at home. Can y'all review new porn?
Yeah.
Ask before the nasty peeps.
I mean, hey.
I mean,
Pornhub.com.
when it comes to porn, like I like amateur. I don't like I don't need no actors. I need real life people. That's the only thing I can review.
Nah.
Good acting to get you there. Good acting.
As a person who does video production, I appreciate the setup of a good porn scene with just the right amount of
I'm
shadowing
not even
and
going
lighting.
there. I'm not even going there with
And
him.
angles.
I'm not even
Angles is
getting
the key.
into this
There's some
with him.
cinematography that honestly deserves a fucking Oscar
Yeah,
nomination.
angles is the key. Angles is the
It's
key.
all about angles and lighting.
That's it.
Angles of lighting.
It's like the way he filmed that vagina. It was just
It
like
shined in the right spots and it was dull in the right
Exactly.
spots.
The way the
Right.
juices were coming out during penetration.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I love a movie with action.
LOL. At home watching bootlegs. FSM. I don't know what FSM is.
Yeah, what is that?
EYL was powerful last night. Black Wall Street. I can't fathom an epiphany worthy enough of why we were isolated from being taught such a fundamental part of our history.
Cause it's fucked up. That's why they don't want you to see they were killing black people, a lot of them. And on top of that, they deserve reparations. Like if I know we do the but they specifically deserve reparations for what happened to them.
You see that 109-year-old survivor discussing Black Wall Street?
I didn't see it.
They put her on the stand. She was a survivor of Black Wall Street, and she was 109 years old, actually discussing details of the day the shit went down. And it's like, yo, as a black person, you literally got to live to be to tell people the atrocities in order to get justice.
So you don't
How
think
Central Park was with all that stuff that
You're
you
saying
talking about. They moved
109
Central Park.
years.
Like, yeah.
Oh, was she 107?
I
okay,
remember
so
seeing that.
what kind of PTSD is that?
She, well, I assume in order to have PTSD, you have to remember the traumatic event. I'm pretty sure at 107. Well, her memory was actually pretty clear, so I'm pretty sure she remembers.
I mean, she might traces of it, but I'm just saying, like well, I'm sure if somebody brings it up, it probably conjures up some thoughts of what happened back then because it's so horrific. Unless you just found a way to be able to block that.
You can't.
You can't.
And that's what I'm saying. So you're not completely blocking out something that.
But that old lady,
traumatic
she
and
don't fuck
horrible.
with 4th of July. Like, nah. It's like
I mean,
that.
but can you blame her?
Nah.
Like America, as much as America wants black people to love it, and then you start really unraveling the history of the American black, why would we love a country like this? Like, why would we want to love a country that has treated us so bad for so long? This isn't some new thing that just started happening. Like, they've been fucking with black people forever.
But, like, it's still our country at the end.
No doubt. Like, and
none of this shit is here without niggas.
Yeah, we built this shit.
I would never, like, people be like, no, this is the country I love. I love this country. As horrible as it has treated black people, there is not another place in this world that me personally, not speaking for anybody else, that I would want to live. That's just me personally. My dad put blood into this soil. He fought for this country. So no, I'll never haul tail and run on something that is rightfully mine and is rightfully ours. That back to Africa stuff they used to talk back in the day, like, I'll see y'all, send me some postcards or whatever, let me know.
White people run Africa. You go down there.
And Africa kind of wild too. Like, you think America wild, Africa wild. Like,
that's the difference is, since white people don't really live in Africa like that, the entire continent, they let all types of fuck shit go down there. The white folks that had the power, the France and all them motherfuckers.
And let's not act like black people ain't wilding over in Africa too now. Like,
probably are.
Dictators, stuff like that. Like, the world is just a fucked up place. We're just, the history of this country is just.
We not no killers, but don't push.
In life, you're either a dictator or a dictator. That's really
Dictator or dictator.
One or the other.